Welcome, everyone, to episode 371 of Just Joshing. I am your host, Joshua Pentellaresco. I write stuff in Podcast 2. Today, Lynn Smith joins the podcast. Okay, so I've become a fan of her as a creator in the last little bit, but I became a fan of her as a person first. It just so happened that I saw a picture of her through a mutual comic book friend at the time, and she had this scowl. This terrible scowl. And I was like, please don't take my lunch money. Made her cracked her up. So she's got a sense of humor, and that's awesome. And when we do talk, we get along quite well. But what impresses me about her is her creative streak. She's an incredibly gifted creator. Plume is an amazing story. I described it like a country song come to life, and it very much is. Plume is definitely well told, well thought, well crafted. She put a lot of work into it, and you can tell it comes across amazing, and much power to her for delivering a compelling story for that many issues. You got my respect for that alone. But she's also an amazingly charming human being, and I really enjoy chatting with her, and I think you guys will enjoy this chat as well. So, without further ado, let's just get to it, shall we?
This episode of Just Joshing is sponsored by Indie Imprint. Indie Imprint supports creators by creators. Whether you are writing a book or creating a video game, Indie Imprint works with its clients to produce, edit, and present their projects to the world. For more information, check out their website at www.indieimprint.com.
No? Okay. Yeah. I always feel if we're going to get to the really incriminating stuff, I should at least be honest that I'm recording it, so you can actually come up with the really incriminating stuff, and it's good. Because you don't want this clubbing baby seal stuff. You want the good or material or some bullshit like that.
I only club the baby seals on Sundays.
Okay.
On God's day. So.
Okay. So today's your day off, right? Today's your day off.
Today's my day off. Yes. Today is just the drinking and in sweats day.
Okay, drinking and sweats day. Well, which is the standard right now for most of us.
Right. It's my quarantine go-to. It really is.
Yeah, it's your quarantine go-to. So whereabouts are you, if you don't mind my asking? Like what state?
Michigan.
Ah.
Yeah, it's hit the news for a number of reasons, and I'm super stoked about that. That's sarcasm right there.
You're in an interesting. So whereabouts, if you don't mind my asking? So I have family in Detroit, so.
Oh yeah, I'm in the Lansing area.
Area. Lovely.
So right in the heart of all this bullshittery.
Yeah, wow. You're having fun.
Yeah. Oh, what's your take on swearing?
Okay, so as long as you're not racist, we're good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
Yeah, okay. That's yeah, it's as long as you're not racist, we're good. I pretty much let whoever my guest, I don't know if you listen to any of the conversations or not, but I pretty much let them say whatever the heck they want. I would rather you be you than somebody you're not. And honestly, my podcast isn't for kids. I can do kids-style interviews, and I have, but it's one of those things where it's just I would just rather you be yourself. And, let the parents be parents, and then you just be you, and where everybody will get along just fine.
Amen to that.
Yeah, that's my thinking anyway. Now again, it may not be the right thing, but this is my show, so fuck it.
Heck yeah, it's your show.
Yeah, exactly.
You make the rules.
That's right, or something to that effect. So yeah, no, I saw it. So I'm of two minds of what's going on with all this stuff. My first thought was okay, I don't understand why your country as a whole is doing it the way it's doing it. You don't need to do it this way. You guys, you literally have 3 wings in the military trained for this, legitimately just for this, and you could efficiently just get through everything quickly. So I scratch my head at what's going on that way. One. And on the other hand, I almost feel for people too, because let's be honest, lockdown's kind of cruel. No matter how, even if it's for the right reasons, it's cruel. Business is still going on. A lot of things are still getting seized up. Jobs are being lost, and a lot of bad things are happening. I can understand why people are cracking. Does that make sense?
No, I totally agree. For for the sake of my schedule, like it hasn't changed all that much. I'm still working from home. I'm still creating and going about my business. But once it's like suddenly I have to stay home, that's when I don't want to be home. It's when you're itching and you're going out of your mind.
Yes.
So and I see from their point of view, like those who live paycheck by paycheck, they have to be working. But by God, I mean it's for the greater good if we all stayed home, and we just need to,
But it's done. Yeah, I get it. But I mean, even the whole social distancing is kind of done haphazardly. I mean, there's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
no matter how you look at it, like I get it. It's freeze everything, or right. If you're gonna freeze stuff, freeze everything. That way, everybody
exactly.
Everybody can actually do their thing and not worry about it. Instead, again, you get people wondering how they're going to pay their rent next month. You get people that are, I mean, it's brutal, like especially in the United States right now. So I can sympathize with the protesters a little bit.
And the stimulus check is a joke. $1,200 for each person. That's such a joke for 10 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's not gonna last. So you're gonna create a lot of desperation in a lot of people. So I mean, whereas it's not necessary. It doesn't have to be this way, and that's kind of like that's my perspective. I can understand. So I'm a little bit. I look at it more along those lines. I'm in a good situation in the sense that I actually walked away from my job because I was like, well, I don't know how long this is going to last. Do I want to be by myself in the middle of nowhere working a job I can't stand? Or could I just go home, ride this out, and then when it's all over, keep doing my creative stuff because that's oddly worked out quite well for me in the short time I've been doing this. I hit my freelance goal for my first month already, which is good. Yeah. In 10 days. I did it in 10 days. I was like, wow. Yeah. Congrats. Now, it wasn't a big goal, but it doesn't really matter. It was just like...
It's a goal.
Yeah. I won. I did a Final Fantasy victory dance, And... I did it. It was awesome. And honestly, I might double or even triple my goal before the first month. It's like, wow. High expectations for month two.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, I can't complain as well. I mean, I'm in a position where I can be at home and I don't have to work for a month or two. I have a cushion, and of course, commissions and all my creative stuff hasn't slowed. So yeah, I mean, I'm in a great position too. So yeah, I can't really comment on a lot of these protests too much. All that I know is that some of these protesters are doing it for the wrong reason, and I don't think it's anything to do with the stay-at-home order. I think it's more to do with what party they stand for. I think it's getting a little in the gray area. I think.
It's a slippery slope, though, what you do about that, though. I mean, there's no good solution to that, because, so a buddy of mine was going, we should label what's credible, but that's a slippery slope, because once you start making those distinctions, it can very quickly turn into, well, you think this way, or you're one of them. And, right, and that's a divide and conquer, that's, no matter how you look at that, that's divide and conquer, and, so you can't fix it that way. You can't. Do you know what I honestly think should be done? This was my brilliant thought. Turn the news off. That was my brilliant thought. So you know what? What if we just turn the news off? The only thing we hear. God help you, by the way. I'm sorry about this next part. You guys got a lemon, and I'm sorry. But. Whatever the leader of your country says is the only thing you listen to. God, I'm sorry.
No.
And then you move on, and then you don't. I mean, and then when things change and when things evolve, or maybe in your case, maybe your governor seems to make somewhat more sense than your president. At least I don't know if that's the case or not. You would know better. Yeah. So listen to them, right? Listen to them.
I think, we just need to be listening to the scientists and the doctors, and shut everything down. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Besides the whole president thing, I think he's the last person.
Like I said, I'm sorry. That's in a rational world. That's how that would work.
Yes, exactly.
Like in a rational world.
The confident leader.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm sorry. I that's why I apologized up front, because it's what I'm saying is how it should be. In your case.
Yeah,
there's
I know.
Yeah, I don't.
He's calling for the protest, so that's the last person we need to listen to. He's
well, like I said, it's a tough. Yeah, like I looked at you as like I'm just so glad I don't live there. That was pretty much just like, I'm so glad I don't, because I don't like.
Couch? Is your couch comfortable?
Yes. Yeah, it's like I'm just glad, because like, wow, like, and the other part, here's the other sad part too, and this is why I say shutting the news down is actually not a terrible idea, is no one I mean, even with the scientists and the experts, there are differing opinions of what's going to happen next, right? So no one really knows what's going on. So the last thing you really want to do right now is like extradite fear. Because that's going to add to the panic, and that can be like, I read a Harvard study. I'm like, Harvard, you need to do better than that, because that's shit, and not because I think that they're necessarily wrong, but it's just like, this is not the kind of thing people need to hear right this minute, right? And it's like let's try to keep it like, okay, this is what we're doing for today. Let's worry about today. And we see what tomorrow brings, and try not to, and again, try to minimize panic, try to minimize fear, try to eliminate how media has been sold for the last 30 years. Mm-hmm. Is what I'm saying make sense, or should I be drinking?
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And you should be drinking, but yeah.
Yes. I gotta be on another show after I'm done interviewing you, so I can't go drinking just yet.
Understandable.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about something else? Because I feel like this is oddly depressing. So yeah.
On beer.
Yeah. Like, what are you drinking, by the way? I should ask that.
Yeah, I am drinking the Jameson Cold Brew.
Okay.
Whiskey and coffee.
That's an interesting. See, so my booze of choice is Bailey's on mint ice cream.
Oh.
You like where I'm going with that, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's great. Mint.
It's writing that down.
Yeah. It's best with mint. It's okay with vanilla and chocolate, but it's not as good. But when you put mint and Bailey's together, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's perfect comfort food. And listen, if you do it for breakfast, you're a grown-ass woman. You can do whatever the hell you want, okay? Right? But that's my choice. So
you know my life then, huh?
Okay, so we are officially back on our conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little side thing. I'm always of the mind, like, look, I realize this very, very. See, I've done a lot of interviews, right? People trust me. I don't not take that seriously, because if that's my credibility in a complete nutshell. Now, that doesn't mean I don't make mistakes sometimes, but if I break my word to you, you're never going to come back.
Lunch money.
What?
I'm stealing your lunch money.
Yeah. Well, you're going to steal my lunch money anyway. I already know this. We're going to meet at a convention somewhere, like whether it's in Detroit or Lansing or Novi or maybe something bigger like New York. You're going to find me. You're going to lift me. You're going to lift me upside down. You're going to shake everything out of me.
How's your headstand? Because we should probably,
Yeah. Well, it'll add. So I mean, it's one of those strange, like, little, like, I saw that picture of you with that, like, scally drawing you did of yourself, and I was like, oh my god. She's like, please don't take my lunch money. And it's like, and then it's just been a joke that's been running ever since. And I actually gotta say, you have a great sense of humor. Thank you for putting up with it.
No problem. It gives me great joy.
Yes. Yeah, it's like, so that's how I met her, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I saw a picture, like I saw a picture of her, and this picture of this, like, scally woman that's trying not to laugh, honestly, right? And I'm like, okay, so I probably can play with her. Let's find out. And so I did, and it's been a running joke ever since. It was even in a joke in my review column I did with her. She did not threaten me in any way, shape, or form. And then I actually said no, she did make me do it because her books are really good, and they really are. So.
Thank you. Thank you. I can have your coins back.
Yeah, yay! All my dimes are mine. Yay! Including
just
me
the dimes, though.
Just the dimes? Okay.
Quarters, I need to wash my car. So.
Okay. I figured it was either car or laundry, one or the other. Yeah. Depending upon what and Lansing's a cool town, but it's much like rest of Michigan. It's definitely an older beauty, not its younger days, its younger glory days, or it seem to be, at least for the moment, gone. Maybe, yeah, but
she's potholy.
Yeah, she is. But there's still like the cool thing. Like, I love one of the things I love about Michigan is like some of the older 1950s structures that are still standing are so beautiful. Like whether
my house is 1937.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's built like a freaking rock. It's sturdy.
Yeah.
And it's it's the hardwood floors, arched doorways, and built-in shelves. Like I love it. So there is some really good gems in Michigan. For sure.
Oh yeah, no. Michigan has a cool history. Has a really cool history. So it's something that, like I said, it's more past and future, sadly, in terms of glory. But it's still a sweet state, and you're not that far from like Michigan actually. Like, so you probably do you like go like when you guys actually are. When we're able to actually do this, can you go on drives and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. I got family up in the UP as well. So
cool.
Up there for Superior, that lake, and yeah, it's a great state because you can drive any direction and you'll hit water.
Yeah, eventually.
In a short time.
Eventually, unless you go south, in which case you're going to Disneyland.
Well, yeah.
Then you're going to Disneyland. I'm going to Disneyland because I don't know about anything else along the way, but I'm going to Disneyland. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. But so I'm going to ask this: How did you decide? Okay, listen. Did you write first or did you draw first?
I've been doing both since I can remember. Writing in school, like in middle school, I had a journal that I would pass back and forth between my best friend and I, and we would just write stories for each other. Drawing, I grew up, watching Disney and Don Bluth films and just like pausing the videos and drawing the scene, and just always just huddled in a pile of markers and paper in front of the TV was my childhood, basically. So I don't know exactly when I started, but I know I've been doing it since I can remember. And my family's always been like, "Oh yeah, she'll be an artist in some form or another." They never thought otherwise. So it's been since I can remember.
So what made you say comics?
Well, I went to school for animation, so I thought I'd be an animator. And when I was, when I had graduated, and obviously, animation was such a hard position to get in. At the time, Michigan was doing all these different grants and stuff to do more movies and, more productions in Michigan, but that didn't last. It went away pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of started drawing on the side. I started drawing Plume and posting it online as a webcomic, just as a freebie. I didn't think that I would ever pursue it as a career. So it was just a way to keep me drawing and to build up my portfolio to start pushing it towards different studios. And the audience grew online, and somebody suggested Kickstarter, so I launched the first issue on Kickstarter, and that's how Devil's Due, the publisher from Chicago, found me. And that was when it finally clicked, hey, I could pursue this, and I could actually create my own stories instead of being a number in a studio and animating. So yeah, I turned tail and started pursuing comics, and I absolutely love it. It's been great.
Plume would be a kick-ass miniseries as a cartoon.
Gosh, I've had so many different teases. There was a moment, just a brief moment, that Netflix came sniffing around Devil's Due's titles, and I was like, please, but just everything, the recession and everything.
Well, no, I get you, but I mean, honestly, because as a live action, you have a solid, I'd say 8 to 10 episode series in bloom. Like you had it, right? I don't know if you wanted. You could, in theory, space it at 2 seasons, but I really feel you have one really strong season in that. And
that'd be amazing. I would love it.
Yeah, no. In my head, hey, listen, you never. The one thing I've learned in life is that accidents. Chocolate chip cookies is the greatest accident in the world. Someone accidentally put chocolate chips in cookie dough. And it was, it's an accident. Yeah, most people don't know that. It's an accident, right? There's lots of wonderful accidents,
okay.
Right? Post-it notes is also another accident, right? Now, I grant you chocolate chip cookies is a greater accident than Post-it notes, but still, Post-it notes, you must respect them, right? Mm-hmm. So, you started this on a whim, right? Mm-hmm. To get yourself some experience, but this was you just doing something and putting something out there, and led to you getting into a comic book. It led to you getting snipped around. It's led to you doing a bunch of other books, right? So one never knows. I've learned. So I accidentally started my podcast. I just learned to embrace the accidents in my life, all of them, and it's honestly the best advice I could offer everybody, because it's. If you go with something, if you just go with the flow, it doesn't matter how good or bad the situation is, you just go with the flow, good things come from it. And I find that with like with you, like this literally grew from a little seed. So, and it's led to you planting more trees and other things. So who knows? It might not be today, but tomorrow you might be the next big Hollywood discovery of a creative genius, and I can say you'll still steal my lunch money, I figure, at that point, even so.
Oh yeah.
No, totally, right?
I won't need it. It'll just be from pleasure.
Yeah, exactly. Totally for pleasure at that point. Right. But you never know, right? Like, look, here's the thing, right? You don't know where something will take you, and I think one of the biggest things creatives have to kind of, it's a real tricky balancing act. You have to know that anything that you put out there may not catch on. You have to accept that as a reality. But you still have to be open to the possibility that it might really catch on. Because I feel that when we say it can't happen, it never does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's excellent advice. Because I know a lot of people ask for my advice on how to get started and how to get into the business, how to make a lot of money. And I'm like, you just have to do it for yourself. If you don't enjoy it, and if you don't like it yourself, then no one's going to enjoy it. You have to do it for the right reasons, and the money is not the right reason.
No, unless someone comes to you and goes, "Hey, we'll throw you like figures." Like, okay, I'll do it. But I mean, it won't necessarily be your best work. And and I find that when a creator is really into their work, you can tell. Like, you can feel it. It's like there's a certain passion, like okay, so for me, I remember my first independent comics were Star Child by James Owen. I got to read the original Eastman and Laird Ninja Turtles, and then that's the one I really want to focus on, because that one you can feel the energy in it. It's just this balls to the wall, crazy. Or Bone by Jeff Smith, same thing. Mm-hmm. It's balls to the wall. It's Jeff Smith, and you can feel it, right? And there's a passion in that work that just it translates, and it doesn't matter if you're 9 years old, or you're 35 years old, or you're 90 years old. You can feel it reading Bone, or you can feel it reading the early Ninja Turtle stuff, or you can feel it in Star Child, and any other project that's really close to a creator's heart. You can feel it. It's when. And don't get me wrong, we all got bills to pay. Like, I'm sure, like, if someone went to you tomorrow and said, "Hey, listen, we want you to do Birds of Prey for DC," you'd be like, "I'll totally do Birds of Prey for DC." Right? I'm sure you would.
Give me that check.
Yeah, that's right. But would it necessarily be as good as your other work, or would the voice be as pure? Maybe. I mean, you might be able to figure out a way to make that work your own, which I think good creators do. But maybe not. Like, some people just, like, there has to be a personal stake in a work. If there's not, it's done.
Yeah, totally agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So, what you working on now? Like, what's your series now?
For right now, it's For Goodness Sake. So it's another cursed boy.
And
Yeah, it's basically this guy gets himself cursed. Every time he does something good, he goes human. Every time he does something bad, he goes to this demonic state. And yeah, he runs into this hippie in a school bus, and they travel around the U.S. trying to break his curse. And he's absolute, like, okay, so if you liked Plume, he is a mixture between Korik and a lot of Tegan. Like,
Okay.
there's a lot of Tegan in him, so.
Yes. So who is Tegan in your life? I've been actually meaning to ask that one. I wonder, because that person is. She was in many ways the most human of all the characters, I think. Like.
Oh, I think she was me. I think Tegan was probably my favorite character to write for, because her zingers and her little, like, sauntry, I don't even know.
No,
comments.
she was completely comfortable with who she was. That was the thing I really liked about her. And there was a certain, I'm not going to spoil it, but she had a humanity to her all the way to the very end that I really liked. And I thought, like, okay, so you really enjoyed that character. You enjoyed Dominic too, although Dominic, I think you just enjoyed him being such a dumbass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You were looking for ways, okay, how can I make him stupid now?
He's got to be the butt of the joke.
You know, well, not even just the butt of a joke. He's just like, we've all had that friend in our lives where we're like, how are you still alive? How?
Well, yes, I have friends and I have family that are like, I am the baddest guy in the room, and I'm lighting my cigarette on a dynamite. Like, yeah, he's...
Yeah, and you're looking at that going, see, there is a God. Because I know there's a God, because you're still here. How? Because it's a miracle you're still here.
Yeah.
Either that or God just saying, you know what? Nope, not yet. I'm not dealing with you yet. I don't want.
Nope, you keep him. You keep him.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to. You know, sometimes I do think that is how it works. Sometimes it's like, how are you still alive? I remember going to a buddy's house, and we were just doing our thing, and my buddy's sister had her boyfriend living there too. He brought his buddy over. I literally watched him. He was so drunk, he literally tumbled down the stairs. Nothing on him. I looked at that. It was like, if I did that, I'd be dead. How? Right,
wow.
Right, and you're like, but this happens in life all the time. Right, there are do I believe in wheels within wheels, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I do. Why? Because I have seen stupid just survive things that are like there are contingencies built into the human body just based on what I've seen, simply because, holy crack, have I seen down.
That's a great, like, my wheels are turning now for, like, a comic idea, because there's no luck in the world. It's just, like, guardian angels going, nah.
That's right. And so they're drinking that, they're either eating that ice cream combination I had, or they're drinking Jameson's, like, God damn, what are they going to do now?
Dang it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what are they going to do now? I need a drink. Right? This is totally, like, my, like, do I believe there's a God? Yes. It's like, why? Because God does take care of people, and because He has to, and I've seen it. It's like, yeah, He has to. Well, He doesn't do it for us. We don't need it like that. He gave us capabilities. That sucks. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like it's one of those situations you accept it and you just go, that is just the way it is. Move on. Don't
shrug your shoulders. That's it.
Just move on. It's best not to dwell on it. It hurts the brain too much. It's just like you know. But okay, so you decided to do Plume, and then you did what? So you're doing For Goodness Sake. So so his demonic form, is it like, does it alter every time, or is it the same, like, demonic form?
Yeah, so his horns grow and his skin gets redder, and the more demonic he is, the tougher he is. You know, he can't die, but when he's human, he's like always hungry, always tired, like completely pathetic. So he wants to do bad in order to keep his strength up to do good. So for goodness sake, he has to do bad, basically.
That's an interesting commentary on humanity. Actually, that's an interesting take. Is it? By the way, is this completely you, written and drawn by you, or are you with?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all me. Yeah.
Okay, so I got a very interesting. You have a very nuanced statement of what good and evil is, I think. Am I right about that, or am I wrong about that?
Well, the reason, okay, so when he does bad, it's the reaction from somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's how they perceive it. Because I'm not going to comment on what's good and what's bad.
No. What I mean by that is, I don't know what your day jobs were, or if you have one right now, and if you did, or, well, probably not right this minute due to the circumstances. But if you did have a day job, but it seems like you've been around a lot of people, and the reason I say that is because you're a storyteller, and you probably have listened to a lot of stories in your time. Some good, some bad, most of them probably somewhere square in the middle. And it took me a long time to realize this, and because I'm supposedly getting older and wiser and bullshit like that, and but I realized that my preconceptions of what good and bad actually are as I've gotten older. I'm a lot more empathetic, and I sympathize a lot more with people in general. I don't look at it anymore kind of concept of what good and bad actually are. There are times when being aggressive and ambitious and ruthless even is actually a good thing. As a creator, you need a little ruthlessness to do business. You just do, right? It's a good thing. It protects you, right? And then sometimes being kind and meek and gentle can be a bad thing. It can be right. Like these are traits. These traits aren't inherently good or bad in of themselves. It's how we use them.
Yeah, not to bring my mom into this, but she is the sweetest, the not tiniest, but like she's the meekest person I've ever known, and I just watch people walk right over her. It's heartbreaking. So yeah, you gotta be tough in a way. You gotta be a little hard in a way, but also be kind. You gotta go into the world accepting all its flaws, but you have to be kind. And my philosophy is don't be a dick.
That's
for myself and for others. So
sometimes it's so hard to
oh God, it's so hard nowadays.
Sometimes it's so hard.
No, mint ice cream and Bailey's.
Yes, that's like no. That's what that's for. It's like I was good today. I wanted to be so bad. Sometimes though, it's the right thing to be the bad guy. My own personal. My personal experiences in life have taught me that, you know what? Sometimes being the villain's okay. Sometimes it's actually the right thing to do.
Sometimes, and sometimes other people need to be victimized.
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah.
It's such a it's such a thing, and then you come to a point where you just realize, like, you know what? I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And I've come to this point primarily doing this podcast because I've met all kinds of interesting people and doing all kinds of interesting things, and I'm like, I could just judge everybody based on what I feel is right and wrong, or I can just live and let live and love everybody regardless, and that's what I try to do.
My motto is I'm smart enough to know I don't know shit.
Yes.
It's the joy of life too, is discovering new things, meeting new people, learning new skills. It's what I thrive on. I just had a conversation with my husband recently about that. Like that's what's killing me for this quarantine is I'm stuck in this one place doing the same thing over and over again, and I don't get to travel to cons and see new cities or meet new people. I thrive on that, and so yeah, that's been hard in that aspect.
May I offer a thought for you? Just a thought while you're in this time. So, my first freelance article came out about 2 weeks ago. It's called "How My Personal Apocalypse Prepared Me for This Time." Right? Okay. I had my own personal I had my come to Jesus meeting with the universe in general about 12 years ago, and it gave me a mindset for hard times like this and how to actually keep myself moving in ways that maybe where I'm limited. Like I can't go out. I can go out, but I can't just talk to anybody. I can't. How do I put this? I can't put myself in a situation where I might be spreading something or they might be spreading something, and so I can't do that. But what I can do is I can do like things like, for example, I've been going to 5 people at random, and I tell them why I appreciate them. I can wake up every day and expect and embrace the opportunities of the moment. For example, I got this opportunity to talk to you. You're an amazing, talented individual, and by and large, I think an overachiever. And I'm not, and by and large, I don't think I'm not making anything up when I say that. You've accomplished an incredible amount, and you should be proud of everything you've done.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, right. So so I'm treating this as an opportunity. And then tomorrow, and then later on, I get to go on a talk show and kind of talk about how I've embraced all my crazy opportunities. And because of that, I've opened myself to even new experiences now. Like, I'm trying to teach myself how to draw right now. I'm going to do an Instagram series called Zippy the Dragon. And it's really about how I'm going to try to draw a dragon and be very terrible at it. It's going to be a how to draw book disguised as a comic, right? And it's going to be terrible, especially, like, I know, like, in like a few years from now, when I start looking at this, it'll cringe. But much like what you did, I'm just treating this, I'm treating this as an opportunity. Maybe this doesn't pick up, maybe this does, all I'm doing is I'm putting myself out there. I'm hoping for the best. I'm preparing for, like, nothing happening, but I'm just treating this like it's a moment. Like something positive can come from this. And something does, right? And something does. Right now, yeah, you can't go out, but you can talk to many people, and you can learn from many people even now. And you can still, and how I put this in the article, you can still chase joy even in these moments. Don't worry about the things you can't control. Worry about the things that you can. Live the best you can in this moment, because this moment will pass. Like, no matter how crazy it gets out there, no matter how scary it might seem, the storm will pass. You will be able to go outside again. You'll be able to steal lunch money from people at random again. You will be able to do that. But at the same token, right now, in this moment, in this time, this is a pause. Think of it like a pause. This is a pause in how things have been as we shift course to wherever we're going to go next. And again, you have no control over all the calibrations, but what you can control is how you are and who you are in this moment in time.
Yeah, beautifully said.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've learned this in this life, that there's not a whole lot I'm in control of. I can get mad at the rain, or I can just accept the fact that it's gonna rain.
I love rain.
Right.
Rain.
Yeah, exactly, right. So that now might be that wisdom thing I have, or that immaturity thing I have. Like I said, I still eat Baileys and ice cream occasionally in a bathtub. I mean, it's just like you know.
Yes.
Right. So, but the thing about it is, right, I'm going to appreciate this time for what it is. And I just look at it this way. I've gotten to talk to you, Travis Hansen, David Butler, and Morgan Shammy, and all these other amazing people right now that I might not have had a chance to had this been a normal time of year. You've been at cons. Maybe I run into you at con and you'll have an hour somewhere. Maybe you won't, right? Maybe you'll be so in demand that, and I can see it. Like I said, you're a very good storyteller. And you're so in demand that you won't have time for me. It happens, right? But right now I get this chance, because who knows when I'll have this opportunity again, and so I'm making the most of it.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And I've had this conversation with my best friend about, like, I've always been a go person. If I'm not working, then I'm feeling guilty.
Yes.
And with this quarantine, like, I just sit in my living room. I have a window with all my plants in front of it. I just sit and stare at my window and drinking my coffee in the morning, and just, it's amazing. Like, just decompressing.
Yeah.
Just being.
Yeah, stillness is awesome, and but it also forces you to confront yourself. See, not a lot of people are necessarily ready for that. I'm going to ask the question. Please don't beat me. How old are you?
I am 34. Oh, 35.
35. Okay, yeah, okay, 35. I'm 38. So, and I recognize that, like, at some point you have to get comfortable in your own skin, and I think when we're in our 20s, we're scared of our own skin. Right? In our 30s, we come to the point, it's like, okay, you know what? We need to grow the fuck up.
Yeah, so far my 30s have been excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, it's, what you were saying is you're getting wiser and older, and I feel that. Like, I feel like I'm worrying less about what people think of me. And, being a woman, you want to have makeup on and be pretty and all that. I'm slowly, like, just not caring as much.
You're gonna lose that. Like I interviewed a stunt woman. She's approaching 50. Doesn't care at all anymore. It's glorious.
Yeah.
It's glorious.
It's liberating. It's so liberating.
Yes. No. It's a glorious time, right? It's like I barely give a shit now. I'm almost scared what I'm gonna be like when I'm 50.
Oh, it's gonna be great when you're 50.
Yes. Because I'm not. One second here. 403-359-7576. Okay. I'm at my dad's shop, so he's got this like secret laboratory in like Windsor, Ontario, where he's working on. Like he's a naturopath, but he also he's also a bit of a tinkerer. And but unfortunately, when I came down here, I couldn't set up internet at my house because it's not considered an essential service here. So.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah, we can't set up any wireless or broadband or anything until this is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it creates. It's just they won't let them go out. Like they'll maintain it, but they won't let anyone go out to install something new.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh well, that's awkward. Right.
Yeah,
so, I have to make the most of the opportunities. But so on the flip side, I have this like makeshift office. Now I could be really bummed about it, but again, it also makes me more efficient right now because again, taking advantage of the time and the opportunities and you work with what you have, right? And I mean because again, everybody got caught flat-footed by this, right? So. So there's things where everybody's missing in some form or fashion, and it's one of those situations where, again, I need the web to do what I do, so I make it work. And I mean, I could whine about it, but what good is that going to do?
Yeah, it's wasting time.
Yeah, I don't got time to waste. I can forgive anything else being wasted, but not my time. My time sucks. I hate that. I hate that tremendously. So. Yeah. Well, so for goodness sake, is it like digitally regular, or are you doing like graphic like trades like volume 1, volume 2, volume 3 kind of deal?
Yeah, so far I'm doing just the volume 1, volume 2s, just print form. I was thinking about making it a webcomic down the road, following in the footsteps of Plume. But currently I'm just testing the waters to see how print sales are going, and it's been great. Especially with the Kickstarter. My first Kickstarter was very successful, so yeah, I'm happy where it's at for sure.
Yeah. So, like I said, one day I'm going to be talking to someone that came up with some really cool intellectual properties, and so I should ask this: are you, by any chance, do you play video games?
Oh heck yes.
What's your games?
So I'm a PlayStation 4 lover.
Yes.
So right now I'm doing Red Dead. I've played through the campaign, but I'm replaying through it, and then I do some online playing as well, and then Doom here and there. Let's see, I think that's it for current times, but one of my all-time favorites is The Last of Us.
That's a good one.
Yes.
So I'm a Persona guy. I love so Persona 5 is amazing. I'd really yeah. It will suck your life. I'm just going to warn you right now.
I can imagine.
Right. So I don't know if you ever played a Persona game. Like the first 2 hours, basically, it feels like it's a how to play, but it's a very interesting. They do it in an engaging enough way. But once you're in, holy crap, does it suck you in? You come out and you're looking at your time played, 80 hours. Whoa.
Oof. There's some games where I have to avoid because I know I'm not going to get anything done.
See, for me, it's MMOs. I can't touch an MMO.
Yeah.
So I played World of Warcraft twice. 16 hours later, I decided I was never going to play them again. It was just like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's not because I like the game or dislike the game. It's quite the opposite. I like the game.
Yes.
And I want to be creative for a living, and I am creative for a living. It just, I would rather be creative. Now, I want to enjoy stuff, but I rather I want to control myself 2 or 3 hours a day at most, right? Probably more like an hour is realistic these days, but yeah. But it's again, it's that discipline crap. We all have to have that discipline crap at some point. That's the thing. Like when you're an adult, man, that's the only thing that sucks about being an adult. You don't get enough recess time anymore.
Yeah. I still take my naps though. So
naps rule. Naps rule.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Naps rule. I don't take them every day yet, but there's going to come a point I think about like to get to about 45. It's like, you know what? I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah, it's not every day for me yet either.
But when you take them, you're like, oh, it's great. It's so great.
Yes.
Yes. It balances things out so nicely. It's odd. We never should have. I honestly think naps and recess should be universal.
Yes.
Yes. Naps, should be around 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we should have a recess in the morning. Like for half an hour, we just go outside and scream our heads off. Doesn't matter what age.
Run in circles.
Yeah. Hey, why not? Look, here's the thing, and this is the thing I've learned. Doesn't matter how old I get, I'm still a kid. On some levels, I'm still a kid. We all are. So I think the biggest lesson I hope people learn in this time. This is my secret hope is that we still. It doesn't matter how we look at the world. There's still some universal truths. Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to have fun. Everybody wants to just live and let live. I think at the end of the day, by and large. So, I'm hoping, in this time of reflection and pause, we confront those aspects of ourselves, and maybe when we get out of here, we don't have to go as fast anymore. We don't need to be as industrious. We don't need to be that particular one way of life anymore. We can maybe rethink how we do things.
Yeah, I know for sure that that's something I'll be taking with me after all this is done, is just taking my coffee and shutting off everything in the mornings. Like, just mentally, it does everything for you. And it's really nice. We still walk our dog and everything, and going through the neighborhood, you see, parents out in the yard with their kids playing. More so now because they're not worried about a job and they're not worried about the go constantly.
Yeah, I mean, do we really have to go back to that? And I think the longer this lasts, I think the more people are going to ask that question, because it's like, well, there are some things that are incredibly shitty, but some parts of this are really nice, and the fact that we can like that opportunity to be with your kids every day.
Yeah.
There are far worse fates in the world.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Miss Kaylin, I think we have an interview here. What do you think?
I think so. I enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad because I don't want you to come. Like, you're gonna take my lunch money anyway. But I mean, it's just it's one of those things.
Yeah. Don't let the niceness fool you. I mean, I'm gonna come for you.
Yeah, you're gonna come for me. Totally. So for goodness sake, is your current work, right?
Yep.
Okay, so why don't we plug that? How can people find you is also a great thing. And if there's anything else coming up that you're not sure of right now.
Yes, you can find me at kaylinsmith.net, and then there's a shop link there that you can find for goodness sake. It's for sale there physically and digitally. That's a really hard word to say. And all my social media is on there as well. Kaylin tweets on Twitter and Handmade Crown on Instagram, and Facebook is Kaylin Smith Art, I think, ? But yes, kaylinsmith.net is where you can find me.
Yep. All right. Not nice. And that was my conversation with Kaylin Smith. Kaylin Smith is an amazing talent and an amazing person, and I really enjoyed having her on the show. So Kaylin, thank you very much for coming on my show. You are welcome to come back anytime you'd like. Check out her works, any of them. She puts a lot of work into everything she works on, and she's a creator that cares. She really, really is, and I was really happy and honored to have her on my show. So Kaylin, thank you. All right, so I've been doing this. My book's out. It's been about a week, and I've been looking at numbers, and numbers are really good for a debut. I can't really argue. I actually have royalties, and they're not like $1.30. No, but obviously I do want more, so I'm going to just make this plug at the end here. The Cloud Diver Level 1 is available now on Amazon, pretty much everywhere in the world. So if you are listening from wherever you're at, if you want to check out the book and buy the book, that would be greatly appreciated. Click on it, leave a review. That'd be awesome. I'm on Goodreads now as well. So the writing business, people go to me, well, there's no money in writing. That's actually not true. I I've been doing this for about a month now, and I'm a little over a month now, and I've figured out a couple things. And there's no like magical secrets to it. It's a lot of work, and it's definitely a passion project. It's not something this is not for the faint of heart. But you gotta look at it this way. You are two parts. You're business to business. You are dealing with clients through written content, which is what I'm doing right now. As soon as this show is over, I go back to my deadline stuff now. Now that the book is launched, I got to get some things working on. I got another creative work in store I'll be announcing soon, hopefully. I got another book I'm going to be announcing on the weekend on my newsletter. So it never ends. It never stops. And the idea is I'm going to start making a regular royalty wage from this. That's the idea for my books. But also making regular clients to write for. That's the next step, and I've been working on that, and I'm getting work on a regular basis between that, hosting, sponsorships for the podcast. I'm creating a brand, but it's not going to happen overnight. I know it's going to be the next 6 months are going to be the hardest working in my life. I may not see a lot of money in the next 6 months, but a year from now I'm going to, and 2 years from now I'm going to be really successful, because it's not just about settling the idea in one platform. It's about selling it in as many as you can. And understanding what you are. You are a business. You are not just a person. People are buying into you. But you're a business, and you're also servicing customers. So figure out your niches, figure out what you want to do, and focus. Dear God, my dad was right. Focus, focus, focus. And that will do it for this episode of Just Joshing. If you want to support the podcast, you can do so in a number of different ways. Subscribe to it. I'm on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher. I'm on pretty much any platform you can imagine. I'm there. Just click on me, look me up. Look up the logo, you'll find it. My book, The Cloud Diver Level 1, is available now on Amazon, coming soon to other venues as well. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at jpentelaresco. My YouTube channel is Joshua Pentelaresco. My Facebook page is Joshua Pentelaresco, author, podcaster. Stay inspired. Chase joy. Thank you for listening. Tell people about me. That'd be great. But beyond all that, guys, have a good weekend.
Josh.